Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fluent Career English.
Today we are going to talk about a personal and meaningful topic.
We will practice how to talk about your childhood in English.
This lesson is for A1 to A2 English learners.
By the end of this lesson, you will describe your childhood clearly and confidently.
You will learn useful vocabulary about the past.
You will practice natural questions and answers.
You will build fluency step by step.
You will practice repetition and shadowing.
Please speak out loud.
Do not just listen.
Even simple sentences are powerful.
Let's begin.
First, listen to a short natural conversation. Alex, where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small town.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood was happy and simple.
What did you like to do as a child?
I liked playing outside with my friends.
Did you have many friends?
Yes, I had many good friends. Now repeat the conversation sentence by sentence.
Where did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small town. I grew up in a small town.
What was your childhood like? What was your childhood like?
My childhood was happy and simple. My childhood was happy and simple.
What did you like to do as a child? What did you like to do as a child?
I liked playing outside with my friends. I liked playing outside with my friends.
Did you have many friends? Did you have many friends?
Yes, I had many good friends. Yes, I had many good friends. Now we will build your childhood vocabulary step by step.
Let's start with places.
I grew up in a city. I grew up in a city.
I grew up in a village. I grew up in a village.
I lived in a big house. I lived in a big house.
I lived in a small apartment. I lived in a small apartment.
Say where you grew up. Say where you grew up.
Now talking about activities.
I played football. I played football.
I watched cartoons. I watched cartoons.
I rode my bicycle. I rode my bicycle.
I spent time with my family. I spent time with my family.
Say one activity you did as a child. Say one activity you did as a child. Now talking about school.
I went to a public school. I went to a public school.
I had many classmates. I had many classmates.
My favorite subject was English. My favorite subject was English.
I enjoyed learning new things. I enjoyed learning new things.
Say one sentence about your childhood school. Say one sentence about your childhood school.
Now talking about feelings.
I felt happy during my childhood. I felt happy during my childhood.
I felt safe with my family. I felt safe with my family.
I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
I learned important lessons. I learned important lessons.
Say how you felt during your childhood. Say how you felt during your childhood.
Now let's build a full childhood conversation.
Where did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small village. I grew up in a small village.
What did you like to do? What did you like to do?
I liked playing with my friends and riding my bicycle. I liked playing with my friends and riding my bicycle.
What was your school like? What was your school like?
My school was small but friendly. My school was small but friendly.
Did you enjoy your childhood? Did you enjoy your childhood?
Yes, I enjoyed it very much. Yes, I enjoyed it very much.
Say the full conversation. Say the full conversation. Now realistic scenario at school. What was your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory was playing with my friends after school.
Repeat key sentences.
I played with my friends after school. I played with my friends after school.
Practice talking about childhood memories. Practice talking about childhood memories. Now let's correct common mistakes.
I grow up in a small town.
Correct sentence. I grew up in a small town. Correct sentence. I grew up in a small town.
I was live in a big house.
Correct sentence. I lived in a big house. Correct sentence. I lived in a big house.
I used to play outside.
Correct sentence. I used to play outside. Correct sentence. I used to play outside.
My childhood was very fun.
Correct sentence. My childhood was a lot of fun. Correct sentence. My childhood was a lot of fun.
I had many friends.
Correct sentence. I had many friends. Correct sentence. I had many friends.
Now shadowing practice.
Where did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small town and had a happy childhood. I grew up in a small town and had a happy childhood.
What did you like to do as a child? What did you like to do as a child?
I liked playing outside and spending time with my family. I liked playing outside and spending time with my family. Again, slightly faster.
Where did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small town, played outside, and enjoyed my childhood. I grew up in a small town, played outside, and enjoyed my childhood.
Now listen to a natural conversation. What was your childhood like?
My childhood was simple and joyful.
What did you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed playing with my friends and spending time with my family.
Did you have a favorite toy?
Yes, I had a favorite toy car that I loved.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes, my childhood was full of happy memories. Now we will continue practicing how to talk about your childhood in more detail.
In this section, you will learn how to describe your family life, daily routine, and special memories from childhood.
You will practice longer answers and clearer descriptions.
Speak clearly and repeat when you see. Speak clearly and repeat when you see. Let's start with family life.
I grew up in a big family. I grew up in a big family.
I have one brother and one sister. I have one brother and one sister.
My parents were very supportive. My parents were very supportive.
We spent a lot of time together. We spent a lot of time together.
Say one sentence about your childhood family. Say one sentence about your childhood family.
Now talking about your daily routine as a child.
I woke up early for school. I woke up early for school.
I walked to school with my friends. I walked to school with my friends.
I did my homework in the evening. I did my homework in the evening.
I watched cartoons after dinner. I watched cartoons after dinner.
Describe your daily routine as a child. Describe your daily routine as a child.
Now talking about hobbies and interests.
I love drawing pictures. I love drawing pictures.
I enjoyed reading storybooks. I enjoyed reading storybooks.
I liked playing video games. I liked playing video games.
I liked helping my parents at home. I liked helping my parents at home.
Say one hobby you had as a child. Say one hobby you had as a child. Now talking about special memories.
I remember my first day of school. I remember my first day of school.
I remember my birthday parties. I remember my birthday parties.
I remember playing in the park. I remember playing in the park.
I remember family trips. I remember family trips.
Share one special childhood memory. Share one special childhood memory.
Now let's build a longer childhood conversation.
What was your family like when you were a child? What was your family like when you were a child?
My family was loving and supportive. My family was loving and supportive.
What did you do after school? What did you do after school?
After school, I played with my friends and did my homework. After school, I played with my friends and did my homework.
Did you have a favorite hobby? Did you have a favorite hobby?
Yes, I love drawing and reading storybooks. Yes, I love drawing and reading storybooks.
What is your happiest childhood memory? What is your happiest childhood memory?
My happiest memory is celebrating birthdays with my family. My happiest memory is celebrating birthdays with my family.
Say the full conversation. Say the full conversation. Now realistic scenario at work. Do you ever talk about your childhood with your coworkers?
Yes, sometimes I share funny stories about my childhood.
Repeat key sentences.
I share funny stories about my childhood. I share funny stories about my childhood.
Practice talking about childhood at work. Practice talking about childhood at work. Now realistic scenario on a weekend. What do you remember doing on weekends as a child?
On weekends, I visited my grandparents and played outside.
Repeat important sentences.
I visited my grandparents. I visited my grandparents.
I played outside. I played outside.
Practice talking about childhood weekends. Practice talking about childhood weekends.
Now realistic scenario on a busy day. Did you have busy days as a child?
Yes, I had busy days when I had homework and activities.
Repeat key sentences.
I had homework and activities. I had homework and activities.
Practice describing busy childhood days. Practice describing busy childhood days. Now let's correct more common mistakes.
I was very happy in my childhood days.
Correct sentence. I was very happy during my childhood. Correct sentence. I was very happy during my childhood.
I used to play football.
Correct sentence. I used to play football. Correct sentence. I used to play football.
I didn't went to school by bus.
Correct sentence. I didn't go to school by bus. Correct sentence. I didn't go to school by bus.
My parents was very kind.
Correct sentence. My parents were very kind. Correct sentence. My parents were very kind.
I had a lot of funds.
Correct sentence. I had a lot of fun. Correct sentence. I had a lot of fun.
Now extended shadowing practice.
What was your childhood like? What was your childhood like?
My childhood was happy, simple, and full of fun. My childhood was happy, simple, and full of fun.
What did you enjoy doing? What did you enjoy doing?
I enjoyed playing outside and spending time with my family. I enjoyed playing outside and spending time with my family.
What is your favorite memory? What is your favorite memory?
My favorite memory is celebrating holidays with my family. My favorite memory is celebrating holidays with my family. Again, faster.
What was your childhood like? What was your childhood like?
My childhood was happy, simple, and full of wonderful memories. My childhood was happy, simple, and full of wonderful memories.
Now listen to a natural conversation. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small town with my family.
What did you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed playing with my friends and spending time outdoors.
Did you have any special traditions?
Yes, we had family dinners every Sunday.
Do you miss your childhood?
Yes, sometimes I miss those simple and happy days. Now we will continue and extend your speaking about your childhood.
In this section, you will practice comparing your childhood to your life now.
You will also practice talking about lessons you learned as a child.
Speak clearly and repeat when you see. Speak clearly and repeat when you see. Let's start with comparisons.
My childhood was simpler than my life now. My childhood was simpler than my life now.
I had more free time when I was a child. I had more free time when I was a child.
Life was less stressful when I was young. Life was less stressful when I was young.
I was more active as a child. I was more active as a child.
Make one comparison between your childhood and now. Make one comparison between your childhood and now.
Now talking about changes.
I am more responsible now. I am more responsible now.
I have more responsibilities today. I have more responsibilities today.
I have less free time now. I have less free time now.
I am busier now than before. I am busier now than before.
Say one sentence about how your life has changed. Say one sentence about how your life has changed. Now talking about lessons from childhood.
I learned to be kind. I learned to be kind.
I learned to share with others. I learned to share with others.
I learned to respect my parents. I learned to respect my parents.
I learned to work hard. I learned to work hard.
Say one lesson you learned as a child. Say one lesson you learned as a child.
Now realistic scenario at school.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to study hard and enjoy every moment.
Repeat key sentences.
I would tell my younger self to study hard. I would tell my younger self to study hard.
I would tell my younger self to enjoy every moment. I would tell my younger self to enjoy every moment.
Practice giving advice to your younger self. Practice giving advice to your younger self.
Now realistic scenario at work. How did your childhood help you in your career?
My childhood taught me discipline and responsibility.
Repeat important sentences.
My childhood taught me discipline. My childhood taught me discipline.
My childhood taught me responsibility. My childhood taught me responsibility.
Practice talking about childhood lessons at work. Practice talking about childhood lessons at work.
Now realistic scenario on a weekend. What childhood activity would you like to do again?
I would like to ride my bicycle and play in the park again.
Repeat key sentences.
I would like to ride my bicycle again. I would like to ride my bicycle again.
I would like to play in the park again. I would like to play in the park again.
Practice talking about activities you miss. Practice talking about activities you miss.
Now realistic scenario on a lazy day. What did you do on lazy days as a child?
On lazy days, I stayed at home and watched cartoons.
Repeat important sentences.
I stayed at home. I stayed at home.
I watched cartoons. I watched cartoons.
Practice talking about lazy childhood days. Practice talking about lazy childhood days.
Now let's correct more common mistakes.
When I was child, I played outside.
Correct sentence. When I was a child, I played outside. Correct sentence. When I was a child, I played outside.
I was more happier before.
Correct sentence. I was happier before. Correct sentence. I was happier before.
I learned many things from my childhood days.
Correct sentence. I learned many things during my childhood. Correct sentence. I learned many things during my childhood.
My childhood helped me a lot.
Correct sentence. My childhood helped me a lot. Correct sentence. My childhood helped me a lot.
I used to be very shy.
Correct sentence. I used to be very shy. Correct sentence. I used to be very shy.
Now extended shadowing practice.
What was your childhood like? What was your childhood like?
My childhood was simple, joyful, and full of learning experiences. My childhood was simple, joyful, and full of learning experiences.
How has your life changed since then? How has your life changed since then?
My life is busier now, but I still remember my happy childhood. My life is busier now, but I still remember my happy childhood.
What lesson did you learn as a child? What lesson did you learn as a child?
I learned to be kind, patient, and hardworking. I learned to be kind, patient, and hardworking. Again, faster.
What was your childhood like? What was your childhood like?
My childhood was simple, joyful, and full of wonderful memories and lessons. My childhood was simple, joyful, and full of wonderful memories and lessons.
Now listen to a final natural conversation. Tell me about your childhood.
I grew up in a small town with my family. My childhood was simple and happy.
What did you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed playing with my friends and spending time with my family.
Did your childhood teach you anything important?
Yes, it taught me to be kind, patient, and responsible.
Do you miss those days?
Yes, sometimes I miss the simple and carefree days of my childhood.
That sounds very special.
Yes, my childhood shaped who I am today. Great work today.
You practiced talking about your childhood in detail.
You described places, activities, feelings, and lessons.
You practiced comparisons and reflections.
You corrected common mistakes.
You completed multiple shadowing rounds.
Keep practicing every day.
The more you speak, the more confident you will become.
If this lesson helped you, please subscribe to Fluent Career English.
Subscribe to Fluent Career English for more speaking practice and daily English lessons.
See you in the next lesson.